Hello, and welcome back to the Southern Bible Thumper channel. For this upload, we will be reading Exodus chapter 35. And Moses gathered all the congregation of the children of Israel together, and said unto them, These are the words which the Lord hath commanded, that ye should do them. 6 days shall work be done, but on the seventh day there shall be to you an holy day, a Sabbath of rest to the Lord. Whosoever doeth work therein shall be put to death. Ye shall kindle no fire throughout your habitations upon the Sabbath day. And Moses spake until all the congregation of the children of Israel, saying, This is the thing which the Lord commanded, saying, Take ye from among you an offering unto the Lord. Whosoever is of a willing heart, let him bring it, an offering of the Lord, gold and silver and brass and blue and purple and scarlet and fine linen and goat's hair and ram skins dyed red and badger skins and shittim wood and oil for the light, and spices for anointing oil, and for the sweet incense, and onyx stones, and stones to be set for the ephod, and for the breastplate. And every wise hearted among you shall come, and make all that the Lord hath commanded: the tabernacle, his tent and his covering, his taches, and his boards, his bars, his pillars, and his sockets, the ark and the staves thereof, with the mercy seat, and the veil of the covering, the table and his staves, and all his vessels of the shewbread, the candlestick also for the light, and his furniture, and his lamps, with the oil for the light, and the incense altar, and his staves, and the anointing oil, and the sweet incense, and the hanging for the door at the entering of in of the tabernacle, the altar of burnt offering, with his brazen grate, his staves, and all his vessels, the laver and his foot, the hangings of the court, his pillars and their sockets, and the hanging for the door of the court, the pins of the tabernacle, and the pins of the court and their cords, the cloths of service, to do service in the holy place, the holy garments for Aaron the priest, and the garments of his sons, to minister in the priest's office. And all the congregation of the children of Israel departed from the presence of Moses. And they came, every one whose heart stirred him up, and every one whom his spirit made willing, and they brought the Lord's offering to the work of the tabernacle of the congregation, and for all his service, and for the holy garments. And they came, both men and women, as many as were willing hearted, and bought bracelets and earrings and rings and tablets, all jewels of gold, and every man that offered an offering of gold unto the Lord. And every man with whom was found blue and purple and scarlet and fine linen and goat's hair and red skins of rams and badger skins brought them. Every one that did offer an offering of silver and brass brought the Lord's offering, and every man with whom was found shittim wood for any work of the service brought it. And all the women that were wise hearted did spin with their hands, and bought that which they had spun, both of blue and of purple and of scarlet and of fine linen. And all the women whose hearts stirred them up in wisdom spun goat's hair. And the rulers brought onyx stones, and stones to be set for the ephod, and for the breastplate, and spice, and oil for the light, and for the anointing oil, and for the sweet incense. The children of Israel brought a willing offering unto the Lord, every man and woman, whose heart made them willing to bring for all manner of work, which the Lord had commanded to be made by the hand of Moses. And Moses said unto the children of Israel, See, the Lord hath called by name Bezaleel the son of Uri, the son of Hur, the tribe of Judah, and he hath filled him with the Spirit of God, in wisdom, in understanding, and in knowledge, and in all manner of workmanship, and to devise curious works, to work in gold, and in silver, and in brass, and in the cutting of stones, to set them, and in carving of wood, to make any manner of cunning work. And he hath put in his heart that he may teach both he and Aholiab the son of Ahisamach of the tribe of Dan. Them hath he filled with wisdom of heart to work all manner of work of the engraver, and of the cunning workman, and of the embroiderer, in blue, and in purple, and scarlet, and in fine linen, and of the weaver, even of them that do any work, and of those that devise cunning work. Summarizing Exodus chapter 35, Moses recanted God's commands. In verse 2, God says to work only 6 days to keep the Sabbath holy. Punishment for violation is death. Verse 3, do not light fire in your home on the Sabbath. Moses communicates the command for an offering that was given by God in Exodus 25 in this chapter, Exodus 35, verse 4 through 26. The offering was for the tabernacle, ark, tent, covering, table, candlestick, incense altar, and special garments for the priests. In verse 22, men and women provided the offering items requested. Verse 27, the rulers brought the onyx stones and other gems. Verse 28, the rulers also brought spice and anointing oil. Verse 29, the Israelites gave these things with a willing heart. And verse 30, Moses tells the Israelites that Bezalel and Aholiab are to work as master craftsmen and teach their information to others. Another thing that I wanted to point out, Aholiab is spelled differently in some translations. In the King James Version, it's spelled with an O, but in some translations, Aholiab is spelled with an A. Some of the highlights. In verse 22 through 29, the Israelites brought items with a willing heart. They weren't pressed to give them. God said, let everyone who has a willing heart bring them. And everyone brought something. In verse 25 through 31, God mentions an offering, gives instructions on what he wants built, how he wants it built, and how to build it. And then in chapter 31, God appoints Bezalel and Aholiab to oversee the production of these items. That is all I have for Exodus 35. The next upload will be Exodus chapter 36.